broadcasting live from our studio in Appleton, Wisconsin. You're tuned into Fox Cities Core on WCZR Code Zero Radio. We're the show that gives you an opportunity to call in and be a part of the show. Our call-in line is 920-358-0795. Core. My next guests are a Green Bay indie prog collective that blends melodic songwriting with expansive post-rock and progressive textures. I'd like to welcome Age of Fable to Fox Cities Core. How are you guys doing this morning?
Be better if I got these damn headphones on.
So it's exciting to have you guys here. And I know that, Chris, you're a photographer, and you're normally, when the band's not playing, you're out there shooting pictures, and you were shooting last night as well, right?
I was. Operation Song. Check it
out. Let's quickly, we'll go down the table, say what your name is and what you do in the band.
So I'm Dan Riley, and I'm the drummer of Age of Fable.
I'm Melanie Riley, and I sing and play keyboard.
I'm Chris. I sing and play guitar and do whatever else they tell me to do.
I'm Dan Stevens. I play bass in the band.
How long have you guys been together?
With him since last November, but
with him, maybe like 3 years, I think.
3 to 4, something like that.
Collectively?
Us? I don't even know. Older than dinosaurs.
Forever, yeah. at least 15 years, yeah.
A long time.
So did you start the band, Chris?
We kind of did.
We did together. Well, one could argue her father started the band. He tested us and said, you guys are going to do a gig. And so we did it. And that was kind of the start of it. We had to learn 2 hours of music in 2 months. In between the both of us, we didn't know 2 hours of music. But it even back then, people didn't know what to label us as. So we didn't know what prog was necessarily back then. But I look back on it now and I'm like, I wonder if we were kind of proggy back then.
Well, prog is a genre that people might not be that familiar with. Can you let us know what prog is?
Who else wants to take that?
Well, it's debatable, too, if we are that at all. Yeah. So we go back and forth with what that even means. Because, people associate it with, heavy instrumentation, time signature changes, a lot of key signatures and things, which we don't do.
Harmonies.
A lot of that. I mean, he's called it, prog lite,
Diet prog.
We never labeled ourselves as prog. It was people that started calling us that. And I think it's, just because we did stuff that maybe was a little different. Dan likes to say, we do stuff in 6/8 a lot of times, and you don't hear that a lot. But that's not really a crazy time signature or anything by any means.
But I also feel like, aside from the crazy time signatures and being different, whenever I think about prog, I think about, just after high school, I ran into a friend who really liked Coheed and Cambria, just like I did, and I still do. And he asked what I was into, if I was still listening to Coheed, and I was like, I feel like I'm branching into more prog kind of metal or music or rock, and he's like, Coheed's just as prog as anything else. And I was like, oh wow, I never thought of that. So it kind of broadened my description of prog in terms of not just musicality, but how they change and progress through their discography. So I feel like it kind of depends on how you view what progressive is.
Are there a lot of prog bands in the Fox Cities area? It seems like a genre that's not really up front as often as some of the genres like rock and singer-songwriter, things like that.
I think it's become more prevalent in the last few years. I think a lot more bands are, you hear the differences in what's happening and what they're doing. It's not people who like 80s music, but it's not your typical 80s metal rock band, that kind of thing, 80s cover band, I should say. There's a lot of local bands that are just inching on that territory to some degree, as you listen to it a little bit more, I think, at least.
So you said that Melanie's dad started the band. And how long did it take you to get your core group together where you could comfortably and confidently go out and do a set of originals?
Well, we were always doing originals from the beginning, and I don't know why that was, but...
Well, we were an acoustic duo for a long time, and when I was writing stuff and when she was writing stuff, it just kind of like worked together. To get a full-form band, it took us until Caitlin, really, because we didn't have a bassist for years. When we went to record all the stuff with Mark at Rock Garden, we didn't have a bassist. He laid down tracks for all our stuff before that, and then when we got Caitlin, that's when we had a full-fledged band, so to speak, and then played for a little bit, and COVID happened, and blah blah blah. The rest is history, and then we got this guy.
Dan number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2. Yep.
Let's not rank.
So talk about maybe calling...
Just chronologically speaking.
calling Dan anything. Do you think about calling him Danny or Daniel or something? I don't know if that's...
he's the Danny because he's my younger brother, so we've reverted back to that.
Yes.
And you guys have played some big things. You did Model Music a couple times. I know that this year you've been busy. You did up in Green Bay, the All Bands on Deck. And you also just recorded some stuff at Source Tracks.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to jump the gun too much. We'll get there eventually. So let's start, keep chronologically going through. So you released your first, I guess it was an EP in 2001, right? Or that's what it says.
2001?
Ooh.
Wow.
We
were still in high school then.
It was Modern Logos, right?
Yeah, that was 2019.
That was 2019, okay.
That wasn't...
So again,
Sure.
this is good because I'm going by what I find on the internet.
Don't trust the internet, apparently.
So 2019, and was that something that was recorded at Rock Garden as well?
Yeah, so we did all of the, what was it? Modes of Persuasion. We did all of that at Rock Garden, and maybe it wasn't 2019, maybe it was 2020, but it was kind of a COVID project. In fact, it was, because we still had Josh in the band at the time. And so I was like, we got stimulus money, let's go record music. And because, anyways, I don't know, without saying affordable, things were affordable, right? But we did that, and then it morphed into 3 albums. I had the idea originally to do that, but I didn't know if it would actually last. So we did 1 album with Josh, the previous drummer, and then he's like, I'm out, guys, whatever. And then we got Danny to drum, and it was like it was really a decision point of, oh shit, can I swear? Okay.
You already did.
Yeah, I know. But, FCC and all that. Do we do this? And do we continue this? Because, 1, it's COVID, and 2, is he going to want to do this? Is he ready? And we kept doing it. And then we recorded 3 albums and released them all kind of in an order with specific messaging. And it made a huge impact. I think on what our sound was and what people thought we were and what people realized we were. Because everybody before the rock stuff came out, everyone was like, oh, you're that acoustic duo. And we're like, no, we're not. We're like a heavy rock band now.
So quite a change.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
So where did you and Melanie meet?
In
high school.
Oh, man.
High school. Way back.
There we go.
What story do you want? Yeah, in high school.
Whose story?
Can you tell me about that?
I want to hear your version of this.
I don't know.
Fry cup.
Actually,
Fry cup.
an interesting thing is we met through a friend because of a Smashing Pumpkins CD. So his friend had a Smashing Pumpkins CD. It was like the greatest hits or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, loan it to me. I'm going to burn it, So I burned the CD. Yeah, this is taking us back. And I give it, I see him in the lunchroom, the cafeteria, and I give him a CD. And this guy sitting next to our friend Paul, and he's like, you gave her my CD? You let her burn it? They're not making money when you burn CDs and blah, blah. I was like, who is this jerk? And that's how we met.
The first time we ever met, I was such a jackass to her.
Yeah.
And here we are 24 years later or something like that.
So you have the Smashing Pumpkins to thank.
For sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And that's been the connection for us. And like, it's funny because when we went to record all 5 times that we've recorded now, maybe 4, but we've always been kind of compared to the Smashing Pumpkins to a degree. Like the fuzz that's on the guitar and stuff like that, the sound that's there. And I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Smashing Pumpkins, so it was always a really good like correlation of like, oh, I guess thanks Billy Corgan or William Corgan.
Oh, and have you covered any Smashing Pumpkin songs?
We did.
We used to do, was it Today?
No.
1979. Yeah. We haven't in a while.
No, we haven't done any covers. Since he started, we haven't done a single cover.
Dan, how do you feel about that? You okay with that?
I'm definitely open to doing more covers for sure. But the original music's fun enough, so yeah, there's been no vacancy.
So then Chris and Melanie, you guys decide you're going to collaborate, start doing the music thing, and then I guess we kind of picked up there already. But Danny, do you remember first time you ran into Chris and Melanie, and was it during one of their projects or a different point?
So actually, Melanie and I are siblings. She's my sister, so can't really tell you confidently the first time I met her. I don't know if it was in a hospital or at home. 1991. I want to say they've probably been trying to get me to join for a long time. And I used to play a lot more in high school. I was in a band, and then I stopped playing music for a long time. And then the COVID project, Modes of Persuasion, they needed a drummer, and I had nothing better to do. So
so now we're just nothing better to do.
No, I think a lot of people had freed up time, and I was obviously questioning my life and if I was a musician still or not. So I was like, why not? Let's do it. And here I am, 3 to 4 years later, still in the band.
Were you also into the Smashing Pumpkins?
Probably through the two of them. But, I mean, I like the Smashing Pumpkins, but I'm not an avid fan of the Smashing Pumpkins. But I do enjoy some of their music.
So it sounds like you and Melanie must have been in a musical family. That obviously mentioned your dad, and then the both of you.
Yeah.
What was going on when you were growing up? Or was there always music being played around the house?
Man?
We were always around music. My uncle's a musician, and my dad was constantly singing and playing classic rock and 90s rock. My dad's musical taste was really huge for me. It really inspired me a lot. So, yeah.
I think his whole side of the family really was just always very musical.
Yeah, they were always singing, always joking
family
around.
Gatherings, teaching us songs that were well beyond our age. Yeah. Old army marching tunes in the car rides. Yeah. You name it. Yeah. He had us doing it. Yodeling? Yeah, pretty sure. He taught us how to yodel. I'll never forget that. Yeah. But it was kind of everywhere, I think.
Well, and since you and Melanie were siblings, you obviously heard what Age of Fable was doing when they were recording it, so it wasn't like something that all of a sudden was brought to you to learn. You already probably knew the songs, right?
Some of them,
He actually helped write a few of the songs.
Even before he joined, there was a couple on there that contributed.
I remember some of those instances.
We were Animal of Agula, which is, I'm going to go on a tangent here, but it's written by... It's a poem written by an Icelandic guy, and then translated by an Icelandic guy. Well, anyways, we had to get rights to play it. I pulled up a guitar to just like come up with something, and I said, I have this bad habit, and I haven't done it to him yet, but where I'm like, I'll just pull something up, I'll start playing, and I say, come up with something right now, on the spot. I don't care what it is, do it. And thankfully, he's creative, and he just went to a page, pulled it, and I was like, okay, we're going to play this, and you're going to sing to it. And he was like, okay. And Melanie is always like the ninja with a recording device, and she's like, da, 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 and she starts recording, and thank God, because like this became one of our best songs.
Yeah, or one we really liked, and he was like, and he walked away. I was like, do you want that? Can we use that? And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. So
it's off the dome.
Yeah.
And so when you released the first release, you said it was stepped, stages of releasing. It was coming out of COVID. It was a tough time to get a band going, wasn't it? I mean, you could record, but you couldn't really get out. Were you doing live streams or anything to engage people?
Not as the band, because we didn't have the tech to do it. And we were in an apartment, and all the people that were in the band were in apartments, right? And we were practicing, I think, at the time at the Lyric Room. Will was gracious enough to let us use the space. But I thought about doing live streams like that, but it never worked out. And I don't know. It was also a good time for us to write other things and finish the rest of it. So then, because I think we recorded almost everything throughout like the main shutdown period. Well, shutdown and then pseudo shutdown, and then people cared but didn't care, period.
Well, and so there's modern logos, and then modern ethos. Pathos, ethos, and logos. And each had 4 or 5 songs on.
Yeah.
So I mean, was there any plan to put that out as its own body of music at some point? Was that ever in the
That was the original intent. Yeah. So I wanted to do all the modes, the 3 modes, and then modes of persuasion was the final thing. Which the one thing we didn't think about when we were recording was everything's got to flow nice. But it flowed really nice within the individual elements. And then you got to the full album, and it still flows really nicely, but we couldn't master everything to have the same mastering. So I was like, oh man, this is going to be interesting. I hope it doesn't sound like janky on one and good on the other.
And it was all recorded at Rock Garden?
Yeah. Rock Garden, we did it all there, but then we mastered at 2 different places, which is what kind of threw us. But the recording process and the mixing process, the first one, Pathos, we really changed. Like we knew what we were doing, but I don't think we knew totally what we were doing. So we just kind of went, sounds good, whatever. And by the third one, we were like definitely honed in on this is what we're doing. This is the sound we want. Plus we changed drummers, which changed the entire dynamic of everything. So, from start to finish, there's a process, to say the least. I don't think people think about that sometimes, but
and you had Caitlin playing bass and the stuff that Mark wasn't, or Mark did the bass on all those releases?
Caitlin did everything on the modes of persuasion stuff. At that point, she was in the band playing. So, but before that, we had done an album, and we didn't have a bassist. So before COVID, throughout all those years, we never had a bassist. I mean, I would play bass at home, and if we were in the studio, I'd record the bass line, but that was it.
That must make it really hard if you were planning shows at that point, because obviously you can't do both when you're performing.
Yeah. You mean I can't do this?
When did you realize, well, we need to get a full-time bassist?
I think the heavier our music got, and the more
it needed sound.
We have a lot of trouble in our sound, and we needed that kind of layer in there to really hold it down. So we always wanted a bassist. It's not like we were trying not to have a bassist. Right. It's just we never knew any. Well, because we started as a duo, we just started adding layers. So I guess that's really different than a lot of people who just start a band.
Yeah.
We just slowly start. Like we added a drummer, and people were telling us, oh, you should do this or you need this. So it was like a gradual progression. We didn't really know what we were until we just developed, and it was like a Pokemon evolving, So
it really was, yeah.
That actually sounds pretty accurate. From the outside looking in, watching you guys progress, I was like, what is going on here?
So
gotta catch them all.
Yeah.
The first Mile of Music you played, was that Mile 11? Or do you remember which one specifically it was?
Let's see.
I think so.
Right? Third, so but I've been shooting for 4 years, so it was 3 years ago was the first time.
Tell me about that experience of playing the Mile of Music Festival for the first time.
Oh, for the first time?
I don't remember.
Cool.
it,
I
to
mean,
be
Mile in
honest.
general is awesome.
It was pretty cool.
It's like a weird dimension where it's like, wow, people love music and we're talking to musicians and
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. But the first time, it was just
I
really
think we
exciting.
involved this guy too, because this year was his first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was his first
It
time.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan too, have you attended Mile
Two.
Music previously before playing it this past year?
I attended a couple shows last year. So I guess I relocated this area for work about 2 weeks ago. So not originally from
Weeks
Wisconsin.
ago. Oh man.
Ooh, years.
Years, weeks,
Yes.
days,
Time.
minutes.
Time.
We were just having that
2023.
conversation.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Southwest Michigan. So, yeah, I'd been to Mile Music last year, first time playing in it this year. Totally awesome experience.
How's the music scene up in Southwest Michigan?
It's good. I wasn't as that's where I was born and raised. After I went to college, I moved around several different places. So it seemed like a pretty decent scene, what I knew from my friends growing up. But I hadn't lived in Kalamazoo since 2012, so I don't have a good pulse on it anymore.
And as far as your performance, I know you played at the bar this year,
Yep.
and it seemed like the place was pretty hopping.
It was an interesting gig in a good way because, and I've relayed this story to multiple people, but we're upstage, right? We're on the stage. This is us right here. And then right in front of us are two white hair 60-year-old guys
Yep.
getting into it. Just, yeah, this is awesome.
I remember that.
And then, 10 feet behind them are 30-year-old girls with their phones up capturing us. And there's no one in between. I mean, there is, but it's the bar, so they're eating, they're doing other things. And I was like, we have captured all age groups now. The only and unfortunately, it's a 21 plus bar, right? So you can't get in unless you had to be 21. I'm like, if only we could play to like 18-year-olds, right? But I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was different than the last two that we've done, which were, I think, both outdoors. No, we played at Appleton Beer.
First one
last
was
year.
outdoors.
Yeah, the first one was outdoors at
I forget.
I can't think of it. It's the one that's like kind of
Butch's?
off the beaten path.
Oh,
Yep.
it's like the minty green one.
Yeah. That's it.
What? It's so Spats.
Nope, not
No.
Spats. But it's whatever. It's we're gonna remember it after this. But either way, playing at the bar was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emmett's.
I think that
no.
sounds familiar.
Why do I want to say Butch's? It's not Butch's,
No.
is it? Why do I want to say that?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Anyway, Knuckles? I don't I'm just throwing names out at this
Toes.
point.
What else you got? Yeah.
Well, the bar was cool because obviously people walking past,
Yep.
you guys are right on the other side of the window. So
Yeah.
being a photographer, Chris, was it hard for you not to want to exit your body and take pictures of yourself?
Oh, if I could clone myself.
I mean, when you're up there, were you thinking more about music or more about great camera angles that you could be using if you were actually taking photos of the band?
Do you want me to be honest here? No. Usually when I'm up on stage, I'm not thinking about so much the photography, but, as the photographer side of it, I'm always like, I wish people would capture me the way that I capture people. Because when I shoot bands, they really like what I'm doing because it's real, it's motion, it's all that stuff. And David Fry, I have to give him a shout out because every year he's come to see us and he always gives us the photos and he does an amazing job. Same with Bruce Raska, however you say his name. But, I got some connections around with the Mile folks and of course the Mile team. Brian's an amazing photographer, Rick, Lori, I mean, you name it, all of them are great. I don't know, but when I'm playing music, I'm usually in music mode, and then I let the hair down, and I'm like, rock star time.
Well, and somebody else that very supportive of the scene is Dan from Danger Videos. He commented it was outside of Rookies, so is that where it was?
Yes.
Hey, Dan. He's awesome. He's
He is.
everywhere,
Oh, yeah.
man.
Yeah, and he's
Filming a bunch.
obviously has a good memory as well. All
Yeah.
the stuff he
Oh,
sees,
yeah.
he remembers.
He
it was-
logs everything.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corey, thanks for tuning in. He said 200 stars. He's enjoying it. So, so tell me about
Several stars. Yeah, there you go.
Dan. What was the first time you heard of Age of Fable?
So the first time I knew of Age of Fable's existence was from Lacey and Trash Pandas. I had auditioned for their band, went a different direction, referred me to Chris, had a conversation with Chris, did a couple practices, enjoyed the music, enjoyed the folks, seemed like a good fit. So
Yeah, the first time we talked, it was like an hour-long conversation.
Yeah.
About a lot of different stuff. And I knew at that point that you'd be a good fit because you
said I liked good bands. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I know.
I know. All right. No, he
His
dealt with my chatty
introductions.
Kathy nature. As you can tell, I'm very right now.
His introduction to us about about Dan was, oh, he likes Coheed, and we're like, okay.
Oh yeah, I was immediately.
Didn't you guys take like a band field trip to go see them or something?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
At the Resh. Mm-hmm. He went for Mastodon. He went for Coheed.
I went for both and Periphery.
And Periphery.
I met the vocalist.
You did?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Tell us
Yeah.
about that story. How did that happen?
So I believe Stevens and I were on our way out. We were gonna meet up with them after the show, and the lead singer of Periphery, he was just standing by the merch table, and I remember looking at Stevens and I was like, I should go up. I should go say hi,
Yeah.
right? But also personally, outside of being a drummer, I had lost my voice for a long time, especially singing. So I was like, I know this guy has been through the ringer, so why not get some advice? I mean, I went up to say like, nice show, just like everybody else, but I shot my shot. And I was like, also, legitimately, how did you get your voice back? And I just remember he immediately was like zoned in. The two people with him were like, oh, yeah, no, we should talk about this. And they gave me all these ailments and practices to do, singing in your falsetto for like 10 to 15 minutes, you name it. And I was like, that's super cool because I just got vocal advice from a guy who tours like the world pretty much. But yeah, that was just the cherry on top of a really cool concert. I enjoyed the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great story in the fact that he took the time to give you some pointers and
Exactly, right?
And that sounds like a great opportunity for you to reach in your pocket and pull out a Age of Fable CD and hand that over there.
If only I had it. I don't know. It was, I also didn't want to be that guy. So
Always be that guy.
I should have been that
We gotta give
guy.
everyone business cards.
Well, if he's ever watching, I hope you remember me. No, he probably won't. But it was still a really cool moment. I enjoyed it.
From what I understand, Age of Fable has like a lot of different work schedules going on, right? Like you guys have to balance a lot of different stuff.
Too much.
Don't even get us.
And I believe, Dan, your work schedule is probably the worst. from what I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah. I want to say, so my work week is usually Friday through Tuesday. That's my Monday through Friday. Because I cook for a living. So, yeah. It definitely is different from the rest of the group. And, yeah, it's interesting.
Does that make it hard to book shows or schedule? Because if you're cooking, you're obviously doing that on a lot of times that bands would be performing and entertaining.
Yeah. I think most times for me, I'm usually cooking and out the door and straight to a gig. So, but I mean, I've been doing it for a while now. I understand it. I feel like they both kind of go hand in hand. Just the feelings for me, just cooking and drumming. So, it's sort of what is it? It's a feeling of imminence, sort of like waiting for that ball to drop, the craziness, the chaos, and trying to find structure. So, it's
Working with your hands a lot. Then you're over there working with your arms.
Oh yeah,
He's cooking and he's cooking on the drums. He's cooking.
yeah.
There you go.
Actually, I think one of my favorite things about Mile of Music, going back to that, is running into and getting to meet and talk to a lot of musicians from around the country, and then having that conversation where they're just like, "Oh, you cook?" And it's sort of a stereotype, like cook by day, musician by night. I did not mean to do that. It just sort of happened. But talking to a lot of them, it's definitely not easy, but it's doable if you know how to manage it. I'm still getting the hang of it, or a hang on it, whatever you want to say. But it keeps things interesting. I probably am the one factor that we have to think about when it comes to shows. But that's just
there's two. There's you and me.
Yeah, but
my schedule's just as bad as his.
I think that's pretty common in band scheduling. Is trying. There's a lot of memes and jokes about that.
Are you guys typically pretty quick in getting back to people if somebody reaches out for a show?
We try.
Well, the three of us are.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's also something about the difference in nature with our jobs is that I almost never have my phone in my hand when I'm at work. I've got a knife or a pan, and then I get done with work, and I usually sit in my car for like 10 minutes, and this is not a problem. I'm not saying it's a problem, but I will just recap on the band chat, and I'm like, okay,
the band chat.
I'm going to try and remember this.
Oh, man.
Now we know how it works.
Yeah, no, that's literally it.
You gotta tape your phone to your knife or something.
Actually, yesterday while I was cooking, I think my boss, my buddy Zach, he and I both kept looking at my phone, kind of like turning on and off while we're cooking. He's like, that's going off a lot. Do you need to take it? I was like, no, I'll look at it in like 15 minutes. There's like 20 tickets right now. Let's just get through that.
It doesn't help that we joke a lot in there too.
True.
Which is fine. It's comedic relief.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
So what was your experience at Green Bay's All Bands on Deck?
That was fun this year. I liked it. Yeah, there was a good crowd of people coming in and out. I could tell people really were digging the music. It was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I was unsure about the spot that we were in until I realized we're covered. And everyone else is out in like the full sun. And it was really nice. People came, they listened, and it was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And that, of course, I think they were celebrating their 5th anniversary this year. Was the 5th time they've done it. And if you haven't made your way up to All Bands on Deck, it's a good way to spend a couple days, like a month plus removed from Mala Music. It's nice to get up there and be able to walk up and down and check out bands. Dan, you mentioned you like meeting bands at Mala Music. When you're doing something like All Bands on Deck or Mala Music, how much networking are you doing at these things?
Well, let me say, if they're not networking, they're failing. No, I'm totally kidding.
He's the business guy in the group. He's the one. He's our master networker and stuff. But I mean, at Mila Music, I did run into what's the guy? He was on this podcast for All Bands with the glasses.
Tarl Knight.
Yeah, no. The other guy.
The other guy.
Yeah. He's the dad. He always told me, he's like, I'm the dad of Elmer Gluskin.
Ben Brush.
Yeah. I ran into him at Mile, and we talked, and we've been talking about setting something up with his project. So I did my networking piece.
Ben does a lot of great bookings at like the Ambassador, and he does what used to be the Study Hall. I think it's something else now. But yeah, he's got there's so many people in the scene that are putting a lot of time into making things happen. And good point to quickly pivot about chicken and the egg photography. Can you tell me about that, Chris?
What do you want to know?
Tell me how you got involved in photography and what are your favorite things to shoot? Tell me some of the bands you've shot.
I used to do a lot of music stuff and like tours and stuff, doing tour reviews or show reviews. I kind of got out of it because I wasn't getting paid to do it. And then like I told him on the way here, I was balancing paid and free. So I haven't done a whole lot of music, like live music stuff. Miles probably the biggest thing that I shoot. And I like that because it's a variance of things that I get to do. But from a music standpoint, I really like doing like promo stuff. So like I just shot the Trash Pandas promo for their upcoming stuff. I did the Coves album for them. There was a couple others that I did that are escaping me right now. But yeah, I don't know. I don't do too much music these days. But other than that, I do a lot of like B2B work. So brand work. Think that. People who need branding, photography, and things like that, where you're selling something basically to someone. I don't do a lot of like B2C like portraits and stuff like that. That's not my market.
So what's the more expensive thing to do, music or photography?
That's an interesting question.
I've spent 25 grand on photography gear and about 2 on guitars. So music is, well, recording, if we get into recording.
Yeah, that costs.
Now we're in, balancing out. But no, I mean, music is an affordable lifestyle if you can make it work for yourself. But I also know where I can make my money, and it's not playing $25, bar tab shows. Sorry, it's just true.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. So your guitar playing there's a lot of technical stuff going on. One thing I really like about this band is the songs aren't boring. There's lots of changes in the songs. Really great vocals, like the Melanie. I think Melanie and Chris do most of the vocals.
Yeah.
I kept a note that Walk Away is my favorite track, and that's the one that has got vocals from both of you guys kind of interweave throughout there. But there are a lot that just feature one or the other.
Yeah.
How do you decide how the vocals are going to go on a track and who's going to take lead?
I think it's really organic. I mean, we're both so that's why we primarily do originals, is individually we always were songwriters. And so when we got together, it basically is just like, who wrote the song? Is there anything I can do on the song vocally or not? And that's kind of just how it happens. And now that we got the band, we'll present it and be like, what do you guys think about this song? If something bites, then we run with it. So yeah, it's not really like a really methodical, like we're going to do it this way. It's just kind of whatever organically happens and fits.
Yeah, we're not like Tool. Or the age-old idea of Tool. But I'd say that's pretty spot on.
Do you ever write a song where you're in the beginning phases and you hear Melanie's voice singing it?
It sometimes, yeah. I used to have that more, but I guess so, because I've written more on electric than I have on acoustic in the last few years, and that's mainly because when I write on acoustic, it all starts sounding the same. It's all this GCD crap, and it's the key of E or the key of A, and that's it. That's all you get, because cowboy chords are easy, and I don't know. It's got to sound a certain way, but when I started writing on electric, it really ironically opened up my my ability to write, especially to the register that she sings, and stuff like that, where I can add effects on that where I can't necessarily do that on the acoustic. And that's the other thing. The acoustic is great if you want to stick to a certain sound. Yeah.
Well, what was your experience working with Mark Goldie at Rock Garden Studios? You said he played the bass. Did he have any other input into the song structure or any of that?
Not too much on song structure, I don't think. But he was the one who originally called us Prog.
Yeah, and he also called us like forest rock, space rock.
So each of the modern Modes of Persuasion albums were a different genre. And it was interesting because when we came to him with Pathos, the first one, he's like, you guys are kind of proggy. Even when the stuff you did before, you're a little proggy. I'm like, okay. So I went and I checked out Prog, and I'm like,
yeah, we weren't even
so
at the
we're like
time really
17-minute Genesis songs? Is that what you're saying? Like, what are you getting at here?
Who's Phil Collins? Who's Peter?
Yeah, right? Yeah. So that's really what influenced, I guess, the Prog idea of it. But I don't even know what your question was now. Oh, working with Mark. To me, it was great.
Yeah.
It was a good testing and breeding ground for what was to come.
I think like Rock Garden Studios is just an experience. I was like, wow, I really feel like a rock star here. He had the leather couches, the big soundboard, and he's just, his vibe's very like, and so it's just really cool. It was sad to hear when he changed modes, but I'm happy for his success and everything. But I just think it was a whole vibe, Rock Garden Studios, and big part of the community, everything he did. So yeah, we love Mark. He's great.
It was kind of like, I wanted to say it felt kind of like home to me, but it also kind of wasn't. I've worked with Mark since high school.
Yeah,
Or that
he was
my
in a
first
different
idea.
location too.
He was in I believe
Hair
it was like an
salon.
old hair salon.
Yeah.
It was over on Walter Avenue, right?
Yep. Yeah. And that was my old band in high school. We recorded an album there. That was great.
What's your dad's band's name?
Oh, our dad's not
Mike
in a
effing
band.
Riley.
No. Our dad just likes to sing.
He just likes
Yeah.
to sing. He's not a band,
But
but
our uncle is a musician. He's
Was.
retired now. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
His name was Dan Riley.
Dan Riley,
Another
yeah.
Dan. Yeah. And
get a lot of
he
Dans in
actually
our
was
band.
on like Jay Leno and stuff. He did like I don't know what you call it, like parodies of songs and
he
stuff.
did parodies.
and-
I believe he was
Yeah.
like considered an entertainer. So he was a musician, but he was also a comedian. He did parodies.
Mm-hmm.
He did like impressions or sounds with his voice.
But he was an amazing musician too.
yeah.
He did some original music and a beautiful acoustic guitar player, singer, songwriter. Yeah.
He gave me all his records when he just, was giving us stuff away. And that's how I found Maha Vishnu Orchestra. Yeah.
What drove you guys to go to Source Tracks besides Rock Garden closing up shop for recording?
We needed a place to record.
Yeah.
How did you hear about Source Tracks?
I think. Did you tell us about
You
it?
may have.
or- And I know
Well,
that
I may have brought it up as an option, but
Yeah.
I just knew of some other local bands who
Trash Pandas
went
records there a lot, right? And
Yeah.
got a
Yep, they
connection with
do,
them.
and I just really like the product. So, and I wanted to make sure, and at least from my perspective, I wanted to make sure the quality songs we're putting out there is the best it can be, and I thought that Source Track was a good option.
I also liked that he's in a band too, and in a rock band, and I thought, he'll really understand. I think if anything, they're more prog than
Yeah.
we are, and but I thought he'd really understand kind of where we were coming from and our sound. So, and he did. It was a great experience. We are really happy. We just got our mix, and
I had known about David before. I one of my other friends, Ryan. Name escapes me. Ryan from Off Key was doing stuff with David when he was still at his house, and so I had known about all that, and it just kind of like clicked, I guess, where I was like, you brought the name up, and I'm like, oh yeah, he does that. And then he moved. Well, I don't know when he moved to the new place, but I don't know. We reached out and had pretty good conversations, and as soon as I told him Coheed drums, he's like, boom. I know exactly what you want. I was like, we were like Coheed, Chevelle,
Easy
something.
Yep.
And clicked. And he's like, I know what you want, and we're gonna do it, and blah 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 blah, and like that's like the yada yada thing. Ever since watching Seinfeld,
yeah.
I think of yada yada yada, but I do blah blah blah.
Yeah, and yada yada yada. We have our mix.
Yes, pretty much.
How do you pronounce David's last name? I love seeing hearing how different people
I don't even
pronounce
know
it.
what it is. Something with a P.
Patella.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I've heard Patella. I've heard Petala. I don't know. I don't know which one's right.
Pita bread.
Peterborough.
Well, it's a pita then. It's just a pain in the ass. There we go.
So, what was different about working at Source Tracks versus Rock Garden?
Everything. The whole process was, and this is no hit on Mark because we didn't know any better back then. The way that we processed everything and went into it was totally different. Maybe not going into it, but like the way we went into the soundboard, for example,
Yeah.
totally different.
Well, and that's the thing with Rock Garden is everything was live.
Well, when we did
more,
it was.
Whereas in Source Track, that was still our preference because that's what we knew, Chris and I and Dan. So that's what we were comfortable with. So we still recorded in some ways live, but less so than Rock Garden.
Yeah.
Do you feel that it's important? Like it seems like for a while everybody's badge of honor was recorded. This was recorded live in one take. And do you feel that's important, or is it more important just to get a song that sounds good and has all the intricacies that you want in there?
We have strong opinions on that.
I don't know. I think both are nice. I don't like overly produced stuff because then it sounds to me like it just lacks kind of humanity. We're already getting into AI crap, So I like, a more human or kind of real sound. But at the same time, I do think it's important to make sure it's polished and the song sounds good. And some things just don't translate live very well when recorded. So.
Well, and frankly, like when your engineer says, when you're done with the track, says, you guys don't even need a click, you're on point, that should tell you something, right? David said that when we got done with when we finally got through after the third time of we didn't need the click. Like I told him, I don't play to a click. It doesn't make sense to me. Plus they all hear it differently. I hear it differently. We have timing arguments all the time.
Yeah.
You've got one track, I don't remember the title, but it seems it slows down and speeds up.
Yeah.
It's impressive if you weren't using a click for that, or you would have probably had a program to click, but
It's not Firefighters, is it?
Maybe.
We never.
maybe we did a video for Firefighters.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
But that's something people have told us, and I think that's why sometimes we get the prog label, is because we do play with tempo a lot in our songs, and so I do think that's part of why some people are like, "Oh, this is different."
Well, so, Dan, you mentioned Firefighter. That you did a video for that and for Red, and what I liked about the videos is you had a description, like it was obviously there was a point to the video, and you wanted it to be known for each one. Chris, being someone in photography, is music videos something that you're going to be focusing more on when the stuff you did? How many tracks did you do at Source Tracks?
So far, we've done one.
One?
Yeah.
Is that going to be something that you're going to do a video for?
Maybe. I mean, I got GoPro footage. I set up some other stuff. But yeah, I mean, like from when the song's done, yes, we plan on it. She's got, I don't know, she's the one in control of the ideas for this.
Aww.
But if I had my way, that the song would have a very Hollywood produced look. We just don't have that money with car accidents and
Well, we
crashes
should
and
shout
stuff.
out to Blia.
Oh, yeah, Blia.
I don't know if he's got a company, but if you're looking for a videographer,
Yeah,
he's
Blia
amazing.
Lee.
He did Firefighters for us.
Yeah.
And
That's a really pro-looking video.
Oh yeah,
He's amazing.
Blia's like top notch.
yeah.
He's a good friend of mine too.
So you did one song at Source Tracks.
So far,
How long did it take you to do the one song?
5 hours, if that. But we were that's how long we were there to actually record it, like the live tracking, like we talked about. It was maybe an hour, and then the rest of it was just doing dub overs and stuff like that.
And did David have any suggestions for where to take the track?
Not really, no, because
It's mainly individual
Yeah.
feedback on takes.
Yeah.
Well, and David's got a Source Tracks is having a open house, I believe, next month or in 2 months. So if people want to go check out where Age of Fable did their upcoming single, or just see what Source Tracks looks like, just search for Source Tracks on Facebook and go check out that open house. He did it last year too. It was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Any strong feelings about MTV ending?
Oh, I didn't even know it was
Yeah.
ending. What?
I didn't even know.
They ended
that
How am
it
I
was
going to
going.
watch ridiculousness?
I mean, I think they should go back to playing actual music videos.
No, they're done. They're
What a
done.
Completely
There's
done.
someone.
What have they been doing? I didn't even know that MTV
They've
was
been
still
airing crappy TV reality
Oh,
TV.
okay.
Yeah, what's Rob Dyrdek going to do now?
Well, you guys mentioned the cost of a music video.
Yeah.
Is that even something that's worth it today? Do you feel?
Oh, 100%.
I think for us firefighters it was huge to have a visual. I think right now having visuals is huge, and that's I'm not a techie person, and it's just hard because like everything is social media now, and
I think
it
also depends on like what your view on your music is. Like if it's everybody has a different perspective on music and what it is to them, right? And like at the end of the day, music it's a form of art and it's expression. So however you want to express that is up to you. And I think one of my favorite things recently was John Bellion coming back to the music scene, and he had an interview where he talked about how the label was wondering why he wasn't making like clicky content on TikTok or Instagram or anything, and he spent a bunch of his own money on some very expressive music videos, like long music videos. And he's like, well, that's what I want. That's what I want people to know me as. So it depends on how you want people to see you and how you express yourself.
Can you tell me a little bit about the new song that's coming out, the name or anything about the style of the song?
It's all a secret.
No.
Should I say my hint?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh man.
If a predator or a cheetah is coming after you, what do you have to do?
Run.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Melanie, what?
You do, and you should run like.
Hell.
Yeah. There we go.
Is it Run Like Hell?
Yeah.
Wow, that actually worked out better than I thought it would.
Melanie, I want you on a team if we're doing board games.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll be there.
You guys have a show coming up at the 602 Club on November 15th.
No, it's changed.
Oh, it's changed?
Yeah, they changed the date. It's going to be December 12th.
Maybe.
Yeah.
TBD for sure.
Yeah, some hiccup with the venue or something. But
So do you have anything on the books right now at all for shows coming up?
yeah.
Stevens Point. No.
Wapaka, we're playing at a place called the Atelier. Every year, I think they do this big like Halloween show. And so we're closing up the night for that. We're really excited. It's like a clown carnival theme. And there's going to be arts and crafts and all this crazy stuff. They're going to be playing like videos on us, I guess, or projections. I'm pumped for it. It's going to be a thing. Yeah. So, I'm excited.
When you're playing something like that, what's the hardest thing to load in and out? And I would naturally assume drums, but
Yeah.
I don't know if there's...
Yes.
I don't know if Chris, if you've got a huge rig or
No,
something that you take
no.
with you, or Dan,
got
if
a
you-
huge-
big
No.
bass amp.
Nope. I'm not taking any 4x10s. It's pretty simple for me.
No, it's usually drums
Yeah.
for us and the keyboard. But
Is everybody pretty good about helping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
surprisingly.
It's a team effort.
If I was Dan too, I would just
what do
take
you
my
mean?
stuff in and just like pretend I'm messing with the knobs on it. Do you have any stories from things that have happened during shows that are
Oh man.
like a bad thing that happened, or
Mine are probably not from this band, but other bands or other groups. I think in this band, I have not really run into any sort of crazy load-ins or loadouts. I think because we're also all adults too, and
Yeah.
we're not teenagers in a metal band like I was in high school. That was a whole situation. Especially if I was the dad of the group, so that's different too. The only guy who drove, I was the drummer, and I also somehow fit in everybody's cabs and heads and everything, but also was the guy sometimes just loading everything in because everybody else was partying. So this right here is heaven. It's fantastic.
No, I don't. We're all responsible. And if you aren't, well, sucks to be you. I don't know.
where can people go to find out more about Age of Fable?
Probably
Facebook
Facebook.
is where
That's
we-
where we keep most of our stuff.
You had a website at one point that's
Yeah.
no longer there.
No,
Was that a waste of time?
I think at the time it probably was because we had big aspirations and then COVID hit. And, it was just one of those things where it's nice to have a website if the website pays for itself, but we didn't play out. We didn't do anything. Like, I just let it lapse. And truthfully, all of our fans and networking and connections, it's all on Facebook.
Well, I think Bandcamp too.
Bandcamp,
does a
yeah.
pretty good job at having stuff there for people to see. And I always like Bandcamp for bands. Yeah.
Well, David Fryman said he only had a second before he started work, but he enjoyed the conversation and he loves this band. So that was nice, Fryman. Of course, Fryman's fabulous, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
photographer, a great musician.
Oh, he's a great musician.
Put out a
too.
ton of stuff.
Yeah,
So Age of Fable, check them out. Facebook seems to be the place to go.
for now.
And if you're up in the Stevens Point area, check out this very interesting sounding clown thing that's happening.
It's in Wapaka. It's in
Wapaka.
Yeah, Wapaka.
Do you guys have any closing words?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thank
And
you.
actually, thanks David at Source Track for taking us on. And this new single is going to be kick-ass. And
yeah.
we've already teased it to a few people, and they're like, whoa, it's pretty heavy, it's pretty hard, it's pretty hitting, and it'll get stuck in your head. It's full of earworms.
you.